All right. All right. We are here at the Bobby Buck Show in Santa Monica, California. And this show has got a lot of heart and soul. We're talking about the people in our community.
Yes.
That you, Pastor E,
Yeah.
are one of our best advocates. You come from that soulful place.
Yes.
And I'd like you to tell the people, what do you want them to know? What is it, the message that you want to say?
Well, basically is that we all need each other. My biggest sermon is that I believe the devil and the advocates in this world don't want us to get along. No matter what you believe and no matter what you're about, if they can bring any kind of division, we're not going to help anybody, because now we're fighting and now we're battling. So my biggest message to anybody is that love the person next to you. You know, get to know them, give a person a chance, and even though they're in a bad situation now, we have to love people till they make it. You know, some people say I love you, but they don't see you through. And I like to be a part of seeing people on the other side of becoming an entrepreneur and doing things like that in their lives to be successful.
All right.
Yeah.
My background is behavioral sciences, so I deal with a lot of people who are broken.
Yes.
It's not that easy
It's not.
to help people, especially when they're broken and they're incapable of behaving
Right,
themselves.
right.
So it takes a lot of work, a lot of patience, and you have to have that self-assurance, or from my point of view, it's the Holy Spirit
Right,
that guides
right,
you
right.
to do what you do.
Yes.
Now, you've had some accolades from outside of the community for your work.
Yes.
Would you please let us know about those?
Well, in the last year of President Obama's term, I was nominated first for a Lifetime Achievement Award for my nationwide commitments with homeless people, mental illness, and then I won. And so,
Congratulations.
They gave me a little presidential pin, and I was really excited. But what was really awesome is when I finally went to the ceremony and was given the plaque, it took a year for them to actually have the ceremony. And so at the end of the year, Sheila Jackson Lee, who is the Congresswoman of Texas, she had been watching all the people that had been nominated and had won.
Right.
She picked out 3 that were still doing the same thing they were doing 3 years ago when they got nominated.
All right.
And I happened to be the first one. That blew me away. They said, come up here and do the prayer. So I did the opening prayer. And they said, hold on, don't go too far. And I was the first one that she commended. That was special. That people watch you. Don't ever underestimate who's watching you, and don't give up. Don't stop doing what you're doing, because you can be effective if you just don't quit.
Amen.
I know that for myself,
Mhm.
I'm sure for yourself, we don't do what we do for outside recognition.
No, that blew me away. It really did. It really did. But I tell you, it opened doors. And I tell people all the time, you have to be the one to close the door if you want a new one to open. We always think God is going to close the door or take a person out of our lives. We have to be the one to initiate those actions in our lives, to make conscious choices. To say, God, I'm going to follow you and I'm going to trust you. And I'm going to have to tell that person they can't come here if they're not doing the things that I'm in agreement with. And this has to be done in love.
I've had to make those choices of letting them go.
Yes.
Let God let go.
Yes.
Because if I'm too involved in chaotic dynamics,
Right.
I can't be of service.
Exactly.
And it's really, really important for me.
Yes.
It is my reason for existing. My
Come
personal.
on, our students. We have something in common.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just my personal understanding of reality is I'm here to serve the Lord.
Right.
I'm here to serve the people.
Yes.
And I have to learn who is healthy for me to have in my personal life.
Right.
As a counselor, I'll take anybody.
Yeah.
And I have to I choose to work with them
Yes.
wherever they're at. And sometimes I'm not able to, I don't have the skills, and I have to let them go and bring somebody else in. Do you find that people bring you in at times when they can't handle situations?
I get those phone calls. I was sharing with someone today, said, well, where you pastor? I said, I pastor all over the country. I get phone calls at 3 in the morning because I'll answer my phone. So
Right.
I'm an accessible pastor. You can call me and I'm going to answer. You may not like the answer you get from me, but I'm going to answer the phone. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, I'll tell you the truth hurts. But the one thing I know for sure, the truth will set you free when you're willing to accept the truth and hold yourself accountable to that truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Accountability is very important for me.
Yes.
Working with people who are homeless,
Yes.
that are broken. My teachers taught me that you're doing them a disservice if you don't hold them accountable.
Right.
Because that's how they get to change.
That's right.
If you treat them with accountability expected, then they will step up to
Oh,
that.
yes.
Because your expectation of them is like everybody else.
That's right.
Instead of looking down, oh, you're broken, you're not gonna be able to do that. No.
Yeah.
I consider everybody brother and sister with free will
Yeah.
and the capacity at their level
Right.
to make the changes.
Yes.
Now, how do you go about in the community? Volunteer your time?
I live in the community. I preach on Long Beach Boulevard. I talk to the, what they call it now, we want to get into that. It's the prostitution life. They would call it something else now, human trafficking.
Yes.
I was on Long Beach Boulevard and I said, they have human trafficking. And I said, I thought that was them bringing people from overseas, but
Yeah.
it really is. But in that lifestyle, just to be available, because the biggest thing is I'm just like you. And you're just like me. I don't care what you see right here now. I've been through so many things that my testimony gives me a story that I can reach people where they are. And the number one thing is I cannot change anybody, and neither can you. But when we accept people for who they are and give them hope that they can do better and accountability that you're going to stand with them, now people now want to do right and finding what people really like to do. That's my biggest ministry, is finding what people have a passion to do. Not, I need you to sing, I need you to usher, I need you to do that. No, what do you like to do?
Right.
What's going to make you meet to the church? And then if you can find people in that arena that will do what they like to do, then we'll start to work together more. And like me and Bob, we just you think we've been knowing each other a long time, but in the short time that we've met, we've been able to mesh and just work together. Not like this is my spot, this is your spot, and it's came together, and now you can see the effects and what's going on tonight. Being able to celebrate people for their work and their hard labor.
Yes, I agree with that so wholeheartedly. Ego is something that all humans have.
Oh, yes. I
And
fight that daily. Why you pick on that?
I happen to be in recovery. I happen to be in recovery 30 years.
Yes.
I was a stone cold addict.
Yes.
I weigh 100 pounds. I look like a mop. My hair was down to here.
Yes.
And I got in recovery. And I already had been baptized as a child, but in recovery, I recommitted my life.
Yes.
So on a daily basis, I take inventories.
Yes.
And I work at not taking your inventory, taking mine.
Come on now you're preaching. Because that's what real recovery is, because I'm an ex everything. I'm an ex done. If you say, he's so clean now, you just don't know my story. But it's not so much about my story, it's about what am I doing right now.
Right.
And holding myself, because I'm one wrong move from going back from where I came. And a lot of people need to get desperate like that. That's what changed my life, is when I got desperate and said, here's a line of no return, and I don't care who tried to pull me back. I'm not going back. I'm going to the place God called me to do, that I can help somebody else say, you know what, I can do it too. And in closing, as I want you to know this, it starts with me.
Amen.
Just like it starts with you. If you can't get you together, how can you help somebody else get them together? And we talk about love. You know, people want to love physically. That's not true love. Love is of God, and you got to know who God is. Then get a relationship with God in love. Then I might be able to get in a relationship with somebody else. Once I've mastered the relationship of love that God gave his best, am I willing to do the same?
I'm Puerto Rican, and in our culture, we call it being limpio,
Okay.
which means you're clean.
Yes.
And in order to be clean, it has to be body, mind, and soul.
That's right.
You have to walk your talk, and if you're not, then you're being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
that's not what I believe is anybody's path.
Right.
We're all here to be truthful, be honest,
Yes.
be compassionate, loving,
Yes.
and supportive.
Yes.
And you're doing it.
Well, and I want everybody to know that don't overload yourself. There's a teaching in the Bible. I didn't come to preach, but in Mark chapter 12, verse 29, 30, and 31, they've been trying to trick Jesus. And all these tricks, they figured they had the right question to ask him now. They said, what are the greatest commandments ever? And he said, well, first of all, house of Israel, God is one. No left, no right, he's one. Then he says, you shall love your God with all your mind, spirit, soul, and everything. Then he says, secondly, love your neighbor as you love yourself. There is none greater than these two. If I can master them two, I don't have to worry about stealing and cussing and cheating and adulting and the other 8 that we have to work on. Love is the substance to a clean heart. Love is the substance that I can see. Because of love, I'm not who I used to be.
Right.
And I'm somebody new today because of love. And if God didn't love me, he wouldn't have sent his son just like he loved everybody else.
And you were born anew each day.
Every day. It's hard work. It's hard work. It's hard work. Oh, it's hard work. It's hard work. It's don't think it's just when you get saved, it's all over. It actually, you better strap up because it gets worse.
Yeah.
When you say I'm a child of God, you better be ready because it's coming.
Start ducking those bullets.
Oh no, when I was on dope, I was killing myself, y'all. The devil wasn't making me do that.
Yeah.
I was doing that on my own. And he said, oh, he killed himself. I ain't got to worry about him. But when you give your life to the Lord, oh, you better watch out. You got a bullseye on your head, and he can try to knock you out. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Because
that's
it's
right.
pathetic.
It is. And he's a liar.
Yeah.
He has no power.
No,
That's right.
deceiver.
Oh, we got a church up there. All right.
All right. I thank you very much
Yes.
for all your work
Yes, ma'am.
and your passion.
Yes.
And I look forward to hearing you some more.
All right. Let's do it. All right. Thank you so much.